Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about mastering oneself, we are not talking about perfection. Perfection is an illusion that leads to stagnation. The true essence of self-mastery is the pursuit of continual improvement, the commitment to engaging with your own life in a deliberate, thoughtful, and responsible manner. It's about taking control of your actions, thoughts, emotions, and the way you respond to the world around you. It is about becoming someone you can respect, someone who moves through life with purpose, discipline, and clarity. Mastering yourself begins with understanding the chaotic nature of existence. Life, by its very nature, is filled with uncertainty, unpredictability, and at times suffering. We cannot control the events that happen to us, but we can control how we respond. This is where true power lies, in our ability to choose, in our ability to rise above the chaos and the noise of the world, and to forge our own path. The first step in mastering yourself is taking full responsibility for your life. This means recognizing that everything you experience, every success, every failure, every relationship, every moment of joy or hardship is a direct result of your choices. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances or other people for your current state of being, but that is the quickest way to give up control over your own life. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself or carrying unnecessary guilt. It is about owning the fact that your choices have consequences. When you accept full responsibility for your life, you take back the power to shape your future. You stop being a passive participant in your own story and start being the author. Self-mastery demands that you step into your own power and stop waiting for permission from others. It requires you to stop making excuses and start taking actionable steps toward your goals, even when the path is unclear or challenging. This level of responsibility means that you are committed to doing the hard work, taking action, making mistakes, learning from those mistakes, and never giving up. Self-mastery is also about discipline. Discipline is the practice of choosing long-term benefits over short-term satisfaction. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is the muscle that helps you push through the times when motivation wanes or when distractions pull at you. It's the foundation that enables you to pursue your goals with unwavering focus and dedication. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere. Technology, entertainment, social media, these things are designed to capture your attention and divert you from what truly matters. The path of self-mastery requires the courage to shut out the noise, to silence the temptations that distract you from your deeper purpose. It's about choosing your higher goals and sticking to them, even when it feels like the world is pulling you in 1,000 different directions. This requires consistency. It's not about doing the right thing once in a while, it's about making the right choices day after day. Over time, these small, disciplined actions add up to big results. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who falters often comes down to the ability to stick to the task at hand, to do what needs to be done, even when it's hard. Self-mastery also involves learning to regulate your emotions. Emotions are a powerful force. They can drive you to greatness or lead you into self-destruction. When you allow your emotions to control your actions, you become reactive, impulsive, and unpredictable. You may make decisions based on temporary feelings rather than rational thought or long-term goals. True mastery means learning to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. It means recognizing your emotional state and then making a conscious choice about how you want to respond. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means acknowledging them and choosing to act in alignment with your values, rather than reacting from a place of fear, anger, or anxiety. One of the most important aspects of emotional regulation is learning how to respond to criticism. We all face criticism, whether it's from others or from within ourselves. Most people react to criticism defensively, which only exacerbates the problem. A self-mastered person takes criticism in stride. They listen, learn, and use feedback to improve, not to fuel their pride or ego. Self-mastery means knowing when to push through discomfort and when to step back. It means recognizing that emotional pain is often a signal that something needs to be addressed, but it does not need to be the driving force behind your actions. When you have control over your emotional responses, you can approach life's challenges with calm, clarity, and precision. To master yourself is also to commit to lifelong learning. The mind is a powerful tool, but it is also easily swayed by biases, assumptions, and ignorance. In order to master yourself, you must continually challenge your beliefs, question your assumptions, and seek out new knowledge. Learning isn't just about gathering information, it's about transforming how you think and how you see the world. Wisdom comes not from knowing facts, but from understanding how to apply that knowledge in meaningful ways. A self-mastered individual is someone who is constantly evolving, growing, and refining their understanding of the world. They seek truth even when it's uncomfortable and are open to changing their minds when new evidence or insights arise. This process requires humility. It requires the humility to acknowledge that you don't have all the answers and that there is always more to learn. But it also requires the courage to stand firm in your beliefs when you know they are grounded in truth. A person who masters themselves is not easily swayed by fleeting trends or popular opinions. They are guided by a deep inner sense of purpose and wisdom. Finally, mastering yourself requires a commitment to action. It's not enough to simply know what needs to be done or to understand the principles of self-mastery. You must act. Every day you must take the next step, however small, towards becoming the person you know you can be. Action is where theory meets reality. It's where the rubber hits the road. Without action, all the knowledge and discipline in the world are useless. Self-mastery is built upon a foundation of deliberate, consistent action. And this action must align with your values, your purpose, and your vision for the future. Mastering yourself means acting with integrity. It means doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. It means showing up for yourself day after day, regardless of external circumstances or immediate results. When you commit to mastering yourself, you are committing to a life of growth, discipline, and responsibility. You are choosing the path of constant improvement, where every decision is guided by a deeper purpose and a stronger sense of self. Boundaries are a fundamental aspect of maintaining your personal integrity and mental well-being. They are the lines you draw between yourself and the outside world, lines that define where you end and others begin. Boundaries are not walls, rather, they are the space in which you maintain your self-respect, personal values, and emotional health. To master yourself, you must understand the importance of setting boundaries, not just with others, but also with yourself. In today's society, we often find it difficult to set boundaries. Our culture places immense pressure on us to please others, to be constantly available, and to be adaptable to the needs and desires of everyone around us. This kind of environment creates a tendency to overextend ourselves, neglect our own needs, and lose sight of what we truly value. Setting boundaries is not about being rigid or unyielding. It's about establishing a framework that allows you to live authentically, protect your energy, and focus on what truly matters. The first step in setting effective boundaries is understanding what they truly are. Boundaries are not about controlling others or demanding that people act in accordance with your wishes. Rather, they are about protecting your own emotional and psychological space. Boundaries allow you to define what is acceptable and what is not in your relationships, whether they be personal, professional, or even with yourself. A boundary can be physical, emotional, or psychological. It can be a clear no to someone's demand for your time, a refusal to tolerate disrespectful behavior, or a commitment to not overworking yourself at the expense of your health. Boundaries give you the autonomy to say, "This is where I stand, and I will not allow anyone or anything to violate this space." The importance of boundaries cannot be overstated. Without them, your relationships can become toxic, your mental health can deteriorate, and you can easily lose yourself in the pursuit of others' desires and expectations. The first question you must ask yourself is, what are my boundaries and why are they important? Your boundaries reflect your sense of self-respect. When you set boundaries, you are telling yourself that you are worthy of time, space, and consideration. You are recognizing that you have the right to protect your emotional and psychological well-being just as much as anyone else does. Boundaries are a form of self-care, and without them, you risk sacrificing your sense of self for the sake of others. Boundaries are also essential for maintaining a healthy level of independence. They are the lines that allow you to maintain your identity, beliefs, and values without being constantly influenced or controlled by others. By clearly defining where your emotional and psychological space begins and ends, you protect the sanctity of your inner world and ensure that you do not lose yourself in relationships or situations that drain you. Self-respect and boundaries are inseparable. If you do not respect yourself enough to establish clear limits, you are more likely to tolerate unhealthy behaviors and relationships. If you continuously allow others to cross your boundaries without consequences, you send a message that you do not value yourself or your needs. This ultimately leads to resentment, burnout, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The process of setting boundaries is therefore a reflection of how much you value and respect yourself. Setting boundaries is not an easy task, especially if you are accustomed to being overly accommodating or people-pleasing. However, the ability to set clear boundaries is essential to living a life of purpose, clarity, and emotional health. The key to setting effective boundaries is clarity and consistency. Know your limits. The first step in setting boundaries is understanding your limits. What are you willing to tolerate and what are you unwilling to accept? These limits can vary from person to person and situation to situation. It's important to understand your emotional and physical needs and to recognize when those needs are being ignored or violated. Communicate clearly and assertively. Once you know your limits, the next step is to communicate them clearly to others. This requires direct, assertive communication. For example, if a colleague repeatedly asks you to take on extra tasks that interfere with your personal time, you need to say, "I cannot take on more work right now because I need to focus on my personal commitments." Being clear and direct in your communication leaves little room for misunderstanding or manipulation. Learn to say no. One of the most difficult but essential aspects of boundary setting is learning to say no. Saying no doesn't make you rude or selfish. It simply means that you are protecting your time and energy. It is vital to recognize that you do not need to justify your boundaries or apologize for them. You are allowed to say no, and you are allowed to stand firm in your decision. Anticipate pushback. When you set boundaries, especially if you have not been doing so previously, you may encounter resistance from others. People who are accustomed to having access to your time and energy may not immediately accept your boundaries. They may attempt to push past them, guilt trip you, or make you feel selfish. This is a natural reaction, but it is essential that you remain firm and consistent in enforcing your boundaries. When you stand firm, you communicate that your boundaries are non-negotiable and must be respected. Be consistent. Consistency is key when it comes to boundaries. It's easy to set a boundary once, but then let it slip when it becomes inconvenient or when someone pushes back. To maintain healthy relationships and protect your mental well-being, you must consistently enforce your boundaries. If you allow them to be crossed once, you signal to others that your boundaries are flexible, and they will continue to push them. When you fail to set boundaries, the emotional costs are high. You begin to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and burnt out as you overextend yourself for others. Over time, this can lead to resentment, anxiety, and feelings of helplessness. You may find yourself trapped in relationships or situations that are draining, leaving you with little energy or motivation to focus on what truly matters to you. Without boundaries, you can easily lose yourself in the demands and expectations of others. Your time, energy, and emotional well-being become commodities that others can take advantage of. You may begin to feel invisible, unappreciated, or even powerless as you continuously sacrifice your own needs for the sake of others. The lack of boundaries also creates a sense of unpredictability in your relationships. When you do not clearly communicate your limits, others may not know how to respect your needs, leading to frustration and confusion. Clear boundaries create stability and understanding, allowing you to navigate your relationships with greater ease and confidence. Setting boundaries is only half the battle. The true test of boundary setting is standing firm in the face of challenges. This requires strength, discipline, and self-awareness. It may not always be easy, but the power that comes from standing firm in your boundaries is transformative. You gain confidence in yourself and your decisions, and you teach others how to treat you with the respect you deserve. Standing firm in your boundaries is an act of self-respect. It is an assertion of your autonomy and a declaration that you will not be controlled or manipulated. By maintaining your boundaries, you preserve your energy, your peace of mind, and your sense of self-worth. When you set and enforce your boundaries consistently, you create space for growth, authenticity, and emotional health. Boundaries are not obstacles. They are the necessary foundation upon which you can build the life you truly want. In the realm of human interaction and relationships, there is an important distinction between being a challenge and being an obstacle. The former encourages growth, engagement, and improvement. The latter creates frustration, avoidance, and stagnation. If you want to captivate attention and foster meaningful connections, the key is to be a challenge, not an obstacle. This subtle yet powerful shift in mindset and behavior can completely transform the way you relate to others and ultimately how others perceive and pursue you. First, we must establish what it means to be a challenge versus being an obstacle. An obstacle is something that stands in the way, blocking progress or preventing movement altogether. Obstacles are perceived as barriers that resist effort and create feelings of defeat. They are frustrating, discouraging, and ultimately make individuals give up rather than push forward. In contrast, a challenge is something that pushes people to elevate their efforts, think creatively, and engage at a deeper level. Challenges offer opportunities for growth, improvement, and achievement. They are stimulating, motivating, and ultimately rewarding to overcome. The difference between a challenge and an obstacle is crucial, especially in relationships, because a challenge is something that inspires respect and admiration, whereas an obstacle breeds resentment and avoidance. When you are a challenge to others, you aren't making things unnecessarily difficult or unattainable. Instead, you are creating a dynamic that encourages others to rise to the occasion, to pursue you with effort and authenticity. This dynamic fosters a sense of attraction that is based on respect, admiration, and mutual growth. Why is being a challenge so powerful in relationships? Human psychology offers a clear explanation. People are naturally drawn to things that require effort, problem solving, and mastery. From the earliest stages of development, humans have been wired to seek out challenges as a way to test their abilities, push their limits, and experience achievement. This is why we find satisfaction in overcoming difficulties and solving problems, whether it's in our personal lives, careers, or intellectual pursuits. When you present yourself as a challenge, you tap into this fundamental psychological drive. People naturally gravitate towards situations where they feel they can grow, achieve, and succeed. When they face the challenge of getting to know you, understanding you, and building a meaningful connection with you, they invest time, energy, and emotion. As a result, they gain a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction when they succeed, whether it's through earning your respect, gaining your trust, or building a lasting bond. This is not about playing games or being deliberately elusive. It's about creating an environment in which others can engage with you on a deeper level, where their efforts to understand you and connect with you are met with authenticity, clarity, and appreciation. One of the defining characteristics of being a challenge is the establishment of high standards. When you have clear standards for yourself and others, you raise the bar for engagement, respect, and authenticity. People will be drawn to the challenge of meeting these standards, not because they are unattainable, but because they reflect your commitment to personal growth, integrity, and self-respect. High standards are not about expecting perfection or demanding constant validation. They are about aligning your actions, values, and expectations in a way that demands mutual respect. When you set high standards, you signal that you value yourself and that you won't settle for anything less than what aligns with your principles and goals. This creates a dynamic where others are invited to rise to the occasion, offering their best selves in the process. By being clear about your standards, you ensure that your relationships, whether personal, professional, or romantic, are based on meaningful engagement rather than superficial interactions. This is where the distinction between a challenge and an obstacle becomes clear. Obstacles repel, while challenges encourage effort, growth, and mutual fulfillment. Being a challenge is not about being inaccessible, unapproachable, or indifferent. It's about cultivating an attitude that invites others to engage in a meaningful way while keeping your personal boundaries intact. Here are several key ways to present yourself as a challenge. Know your value and stay confident in it. One of the most powerful ways to be a challenge is to know your worth and never compromise on it. This requires a deep understanding of who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. People are drawn to individuals who possess a quiet confidence, not arrogance, but an inner knowing that they are valuable and deserving of respect. When you are confident in your value, you challenge others to recognize and appreciate it rather than seek validation or approval from them. Don't be easily available. When you are always available, you create an environment where others may take you for granted. Part of being a challenge is learning to prioritize your time, energy, and focus. People will be more likely to pursue you when they know that your time and attention are valuable. This doesn't mean being cold or dismissive. It means being discerning about how and when you invest your time and energy. Create space for emotional depth. Being a challenge also means encouraging others to engage with you on a deeper emotional level. Shallow, surface level interactions are rarely motivating. They don't require effort or growth. Instead, create an atmosphere where meaningful, substantive conversations and emotional connections can flourish. This often requires vulnerability and a willingness to open up, but it also challenges others to meet you where you are emotionally rather than engaging in shallow exchanges. Challenge others to grow. One of the most profound ways to be a challenge is to encourage growth, both in yourself and in others. When you engage with people in a way that encourages them to reflect, learn, and grow, you inspire them to become better versions of themselves. This doesn't mean pushing others to do things they aren't ready for. It means fostering an environment where they feel inspired to rise to their potential. Be independent and self-sufficient. People are attracted to individuals who are self-sufficient and do not rely on others for validation or emotional fulfillment. By being independent, you create an environment where others must engage with you on equal footing, where they cannot rely on you to fulfill their emotional needs or make decisions for them. This fosters a sense of respect and admiration, as people are drawn to those who demonstrate strength, independence, and confidence in their own abilities. Be unpredictable. But authentic predictability can sometimes be boring, while unpredictability can spark curiosity and interest. However, unpredictability should not come at the cost of authenticity. The key is to be dynamic and engaging without being manipulative or playing games. Keep people intrigued by showing different aspects of yourself, and by continually evolving in your personal growth. People are drawn to those who are multidimensional, interesting, and constantly improving. Being a challenge in relationships brings many benefits. It creates a dynamic of respect, effort, and engagement, which leads to deeper connections and more meaningful interactions. When you present yourself as a challenge, people are less likely to take you for granted. Instead, they will pursue you with intention, clarity, and effort, which creates a sense of mutual fulfillment and growth. When you are a challenge, you also give others the opportunity to rise to their own potential. By encouraging them to meet your standards, engage with you meaningfully, and invest in a deeper connection, you are helping them grow as well. This creates a healthy, balanced relationship dynamic that fosters respect and mutual support. Independence and ambition are two foundational qualities that serve as the pillars of personal growth, fulfillment, and success. They are the driving forces behind individuals who are able to take control of their lives, shape their own destiny, and forge paths that reflect their true values and desires. These qualities are not just about achieving personal goals or obtaining material success. They are about living authentically, with purpose and direction, regardless of external circumstances or opinions. Cultivating independence and ambition requires more than just a surface-level desire for success or freedom. It demands a deep inner commitment to your own development and the courage to carve out a life that reflects who you truly are. In a world where it is easy to become distracted, dependent on external validation, and overwhelmed by societal expectations, cultivating independence and ambition is a conscious choice that empowers you to live with integrity, resilience, and clarity. Independence is the ability to stand on your own, make your own decisions, and rely on your own resources, both emotionally and physically. It is about not depending on others to validate your worth, define your path, or give you permission to live the life you desire. When you are independent, you are no longer a passive participant in your own life. You become the active architect of your destiny. Being independent is not about isolation or detachment. It is about building self-reliance, emotional strength, and mental clarity. It's about being able to think for yourself, solve your own problems, and navigate life's challenges without waiting for external support. This independence allows you to fully embrace your power, make decisions based on your own values, and pursue the life that aligns with your vision. Independence gives you the freedom to take risks, explore new opportunities, and follow your passions without being paralyzed by the fear of judgment or failure. It means that you are not bound by other people's expectations or limitations. You are free to grow, evolve, and pursue what truly matters to you. When you cultivate independence, you remove the shackles of dependence on others and create the mental and emotional space to thrive. Moreover, independence does not mean a lack of connection with others. On the contrary, when you are independent, you can enter relationships and communities from a place of strength, knowing that you are not dependent on anyone for your happiness or sense of self-worth. You bring to the table your own unique contributions and perspectives, and you interact with others as equals, not as individuals seeking validation or approval. Ambition is the desire and drive to achieve something meaningful. It is the fire that propels you forward even when the path is unclear or fraught with obstacles. Ambition gives you direction, purpose, and a reason to keep moving, no matter the challenges that arise. It is not about superficial success or the pursuit of wealth alone. It is about striving to create something meaningful, something that aligns with your core values and deep aspirations. Ambition is often misunderstood as a purely external pursuit, the desire for status, recognition, or wealth. While these things may be a byproduct of ambition, the true essence of ambition lies in the pursuit of personal excellence and fulfillment. It's the drive to improve yourself, expand your capabilities, and make an impact in the world around you. Ambition is about reaching for the highest version of yourself, setting goals that challenge you, and working relentlessly to achieve them. Having ambition means you do not settle for mediocrity. You constantly strive to push the boundaries of what is possible for you, to go beyond your comfort zone, and to seek new challenges that encourage growth and self-improvement. It is the belief that you have untapped potential and that you are capable of achieving great things with dedication, focus, and persistence. This mindset propels you to overcome setbacks, stay disciplined in the face of adversity, and maintain your focus on the long-term vision. Ambition also requires resilience. There will be times when your efforts do not produce immediate results, when you face failure, or when external circumstances seem stacked against you. But ambition keeps you moving forward despite these challenges. It teaches you to embrace failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback, and to view obstacles as stepping stones on the path to success. Develop emotional self-reliance. One of the cornerstones of independence is emotional self-reliance. This means being able to regulate your emotions, make decisions without excessive dependence on others' opinions, and find peace within yourself rather than seeking it externally. Emotional self-reliance comes from developing a strong sense of self-worth and self-acceptance. When you value and trust yourself, you are less likely to be swayed by external validation or approval. Take responsibility for your life. Independence begins with taking full responsibility for your life and your choices. This means acknowledging that you are the primary agent of your success and happiness, and that no one else can live your life for you. By taking responsibility, you stop waiting for others to create your opportunities or fix your problems. Instead, you begin taking intentional actions toward your goals and hold yourself accountable for your progress. Learn to be self-sufficient. Being independent involves cultivating the skills and resources to support yourself, both emotionally and practically. This might mean learning how to manage your finances, mastering time management, or developing problem-solving skills. It is the ability to navigate the world confidently, knowing that you are capable of taking care of yourself in various aspects of life. Practice self-reflection to remain independent. It's essential to engage in regular self-reflection. This means taking time to assess your thoughts, actions, and decisions, and ensuring that they align with your values and goals. Self-reflection allows you to course correct when necessary, stay true to your path, and avoid being influenced by others in a way that contradicts your true desires and aspirations. Set clear goals. Ambition thrives when it has a clear target to aim for. Setting specific, measurable, and meaningful goals helps you direct your energy and efforts towards something tangible. Ambitious individuals are not aimlessly drifting through life. They are purposefully working toward objectives that inspire and challenge them. These goals may change over time, but having them in place provides direction and motivation. Embrace hard work and discipline. Ambition without action is merely wishful thinking. To achieve your goals, you must put in the necessary work, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. This requires discipline, the ability to stick to your commitments, to prioritize your goals over distractions, and to keep pushing forward even when progress seems slow. Hard work is a non-negotiable aspect of ambition. Stay hungry for growth. Ambition is fueled by a hunger for continuous improvement. Rather than being satisfied with current achievements, ambitious individuals are always looking for ways to grow, whether through acquiring new knowledge, improving their skills, or expanding their perspectives. Cultivating a mindset of perpetual growth ensures that you remain motivated and open to new possibilities. Overcome fear and doubt. Fear and self-doubt are natural obstacles to ambition. The fear of failure, criticism, or uncertainty can hold you back from pursuing your goals. However, To cultivate ambition, you must learn to push through these fears and keep moving forward despite them. This doesn't mean ignoring your fears, but acknowledging them and refusing to let them dictate your actions. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Ambition thrives in environments where others share your drive and values. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and encourage you to be your best. A strong support system can propel you forward, offer fresh perspectives, and provide the motivation you need to keep pursuing your ambitions. Independence and ambition are not isolated qualities. They work synergistically to create a powerful foundation for a fulfilled life. Independence gives you the freedom to pursue your ambitions without being tethered to others' expectations or limitations. It provides the clarity and self-assurance to take risks, make decisions, and follow your own path. Ambition, in turn, fuels your independence by providing purpose, direction, and the drive to keep striving for greater heights. Together, these qualities enable you to create a life that reflects your values, your desires, and your potential. They allow you to navigate the world with confidence, resilience, and clarity, knowing that you have the power to shape your own future. Cultivating both independence and ambition ensures that you remain the architect of your life, constantly moving toward new challenges and opportunities for growth. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness in a world that values strength, independence, and self-reliance. It's easy to believe that showing vulnerability is a sign of being fragile, unprepared, or incapable of handling life's challenges. However, this misconception can be damaging. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a powerful tool for growth, connection, and authenticity. Embracing vulnerability means choosing to be open, honest, and real, even when it feels uncomfortable. It is the courage to face uncertainty, risk rejection, and expose your true self regardless of the outcomes. At its core, vulnerability is about being authentic and unguarded. It's about allowing others to see your imperfections, your fears, and your needs without the fear of judgment or shame. While this may feel daunting, vulnerability is the very foundation upon which deep, meaningful relationships are built. It opens the door for connection, compassion, and understanding, and it creates space for growth, healing, and transformation. When we embrace vulnerability, we unlock our full potential and pave the way for genuine, fulfilling lives. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as simply being emotionally exposed or unprotected. In reality, vulnerability is a multifaceted concept that encompasses emotional, mental, and even physical exposure. It means showing up in the world as your true self without hiding behind a mask of perfection or pretense. Vulnerability is about facing the unknown, taking risks, and allowing yourself to be seen in all your complexity. When you embrace vulnerability, you choose to open yourself to the possibility of failure, rejection, or discomfort. You risk the loss of control, the potential for hurt, and the exposure of your deepest fears. However, these risks are not signs of weakness. Instead, they are opportunities for growth, learning, and connection. Vulnerability is what allows you to move through life with courage and resilience, knowing that even in the face of adversity, you can handle whatever comes your way. One of the most powerful aspects of vulnerability is its ability to foster authenticity. Authenticity is the alignment of your inner self with your outer actions and words. It means being true to who you are rather than conforming to societal expectations or presenting a facade that doesn't reflect your true feelings, desires, or values. When you embrace vulnerability, you allow yourself to show up authentically without the need to please others or protect your image. You stop hiding behind the masks of perfection and success, and you become comfortable with who you are in the moment. This authenticity builds trust, fosters connection, and allows others to see you for who you truly are. Authenticity creates space for others to do the same, making relationships more profound and meaningful. Being authentic doesn't mean that you have to expose every detail of your life or share all of your emotions with others. It simply means that you are honest about your experiences, your feelings, and your beliefs. When you show vulnerability in this way, you invite others to engage with you on a deeper level, allowing for more genuine connections and a greater sense of understanding. One of the most profound ways vulnerability manifests is in its ability to foster connection. When we are vulnerable with others, we give them the opportunity to connect with us in an authentic way. Vulnerability breaks down the walls of isolation and loneliness, allowing us to experience a sense of belonging and mutual understanding. In relationships, whether romantic, familial, or professional, vulnerability allows people to see one another beyond surface level interactions. When we share our struggles, our insecurities, and our challenges, we create space for others to do the same. This mutual exchange of vulnerability creates empathy and compassion, and it strengthens the bonds that tie us together. By allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, we invite others to see our humanity. We acknowledge that we are imperfect, and that is okay. We do not have to be perfect to be worthy of love, respect, or connection. Vulnerability creates an environment where others feel safe to open up and share their own experiences, knowing that they will not be judged or ridiculed. While vulnerability is often associated with emotional exposure, it also plays a critical role in personal growth and self-development. It is only through vulnerability that we can begin to confront and address our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we face the truth about ourselves, even when it is uncomfortable. Personal growth requires us to push past our comfort zones, and vulnerability is the key that unlocks this transformation. When we embrace vulnerability, we are forced to confront the things that we may have been avoiding, such as unresolved pain, past trauma, or fears of failure. By facing these challenges head-on, we gain clarity and insight, which allows us to heal, evolve, and move forward. Additionally, vulnerability encourages us to take risks and try new things. It encourages us to step into the unknown, even when we are unsure of the outcome. This willingness to embrace uncertainty is what propels us toward our goals and aspirations. Without vulnerability, we may remain stagnant, stuck in our old patterns, and unable to grow. But by embracing vulnerability, we open ourselves to new possibilities, fresh perspectives, and transformative experiences. Vulnerability is often perceived as a weakness in leadership, but it is, in fact, a powerful tool for effective leadership and influence. Leaders who embrace vulnerability create a culture of trust, transparency, and authenticity. They lead by example, showing their teams that it is okay to be human, make mistakes, and ask for help. When leaders are vulnerable, they build stronger connections with their followers. They show that they are not above others, but rather that they are in this together. This creates a sense of unity and shared purpose, making it easier for teams to work collaboratively and support one another. Vulnerability also fosters empathy and understanding, which are essential qualities for leaders who want to inspire and motivate others. A vulnerable leader is one who is not afraid to admit when they do not have all the answers, ask for feedback, or show their emotions. This openness creates a safe environment where others feel encouraged to speak up, share their ideas, and take risks. In turn, this fosters innovation, creativity, and growth within the team or organization. While vulnerability may seem like an invitation for harm or emotional damage, it is in fact a path to emotional resilience. When we embrace vulnerability, we strengthen our emotional foundation by learning to cope with discomfort, rejection, and fear. We become more capable of handling life's challenges and setbacks, knowing that we have the inner strength to rise again.